All right, everybody, Fast Break podcast. We back, episode 18. One more time, we got Caleb here, Mo, Justin, and Tim. Last episode, we talked about the love of the game. That went on for like an hour almost, but
some change.
We just really passionate about the game of basketball. It's done so many things for us in our life and connected all of us through basketball. So, it is what it is. Love of the game.
90% of my friends was through basketball.
Straight hoop.
Yeah, that's real life.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick a name. Feel like we ain't did this in a while.
Man, I'm about to start hooping, dog.
We talked about Draymond. We talked about Draymond Green at one point. Right?
Yeah, you did. I'm about to buy some shoes tonight.
Tell him you get them Zions, man.
We low key tried to con Elijhah into hooping yesterday.
Y'all tried to. I had to go to Home Depot though.
It was decent though. It won't like normal, but it was alright.
Man, Lakers.
Oh, I want to talk about dude.
I'm still a fan.
Lakers basketball.
Still a big time Lakers fan, but we're bad.
My bad. Y'all lost to Washington last night.
Lost to Washington last night.
We
Go,
lost.
man, go,
Y'all
man.
lost. Y'all were up by like 15 too.
I wasn't even watching. I was watching the college games.
Yeah, so
On my fat.
man, Lakers. I'm not a Laker fan, but I respect the franchise. Not a Laker
Got a
fan,
lot of respect for him.
but respect the franchise, what they done in the game. I do think y'all hold a standard, which is why Westbrook is getting so much. I don't think he was ready for that type of attention in LA, and then it's heightened even more because you got Bron too there, and then they just won a championship previously, so I don't think he was ready for how much scrutiny he was going to be under. Because it's really affecting his game. I feel bad for him. Watching it's really affecting how he's playing. But the Lakers is top tier. Like Mo always say, they're trying to win a championship this year. So
It's crazy that I think Magic. I thought I heard Magic do an interview and he said that when you come to LA, you come to the Lakers, like you're here to win a championship.
Yeah.
Like you're not here to do anything else. Like we're only here to win a championship. So I think like a couple episodes we looked up like like the most valuable franchises, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Big
And
models.
Lakers is like what, top three? Like top three.
I think
So it's just like you're there.
In the world, it's
In
like
the
the
world,
Cowboys.
yeah.
It's a soccer team, and then it's us.
It's just y'all, yeah. So it's just like you're there to get a championship. That's it. So, I mean, when players go there, man, you have to understand. It's,
I think
it's headlights.
I think Kobe's owed a lot of credit to bringing the Lakers franchise into the new era, because it could have got real dark for a period after that Shaq thing. But when we talk about, I think one episode we talked about the culture of an organization. If Kobe is not there during that time when Shaq first leaves,
Yeah, it's bad.
it would be very bad. But the fact that Kobe was there and upheld that culture and that standard, it projected the organization. So even after he left, it was like, yo, Kobe's still alive, and this was his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his team. Like, what are y'all doing?
If Kobe's not in LA,
it's-
we are not even probably, I'm gonna take a stab at it, not even a high market team. To be honest with you, I don't care if it's LA. I don't care if it's LA. If Kobe's not there,
He did something
we
for that
are
culture.
not
No, he did,
a high market team.
Well, I think just being in LA, you're going to attract.
I don't know because if Kobe is not there, then what's attractive about it? The weather?
Well, not just the weather, but like the opportunity. I'm saying like you look at Anthony Davis, right? And then granted, like Kobe, did that as well. But the Showtime Lakers are nothing to blink about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying Anthony Davis is doing commercials and movies now. Like he was never doing that in anywhere else. So I think like just being in LA, having Hollywood, all the stars there, because the stars was there before Kobe.
Right.
You know what I mean? So back when it was the Forum, in the Forum,
In Inglewood.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I think like, and that's even now. I mean, like like after Bron is gone, I think like like we're still gonna attract free agents just because. Like playing.
I
the
think
ball.
we're.
I don't know.
I think y'all were one step
getting
from
ready to
being
hit
New York.
another dark era.
If we
What? No, I'm saying
trade
no.
I could have been
AD,
New York
I mean, yeah.
because
But
they
yeah,
had
but
the
that's what
story.
I'm saying.
But
I think we'll always attract. I mean, now granted, we might go through some years. I mean, no dynasty is ever going to stay on top for years and years and years. Like this ain't,
Right.
this ain't football. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think we're getting ready to hit another dark
Oh
period.
yeah, for sure.
This is about to be the worst. This
Yeah.
is about
I
to be
mean,
the worst.
but now to Caleb's credit, like he always say, if Anthony Davis was playing, because like the plan was to get AD, he gonna be in his prime for another 5 years, and he was gonna carry us, and then once Bron leave, you get another free agent and pair him up with Anthony Davis, and then that was gonna carry us for another 5 years. So to Caleb's point, that's kind of where we going wrong at
We're
right
done.
now. So
I feel like AD is going to be going to Chicago.
You
For
think?
some
I mean
reason.
that's home. I mean everybody going home.
He's from
nowadays.
Chicago?
God,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
get to Chicago with Lonzo,
Yeah.
Zach LaVine. If they can still of course, make the
Yeah,
money
Hold those
work.
pieces. Yeah, hold those pieces.
AD
together.
go to Chicago.
Caruso gone probably.
Who?
Caruso.
Nah, he signed. He
signed
got 4 years.
The 4-3. Yeah, he signed
3 years.
Caruso's not a guy you let go.
At all.
No,
Shouldn't be a guy.
He's not a
No.
guy that you just.
We
Like
just
one
couldn't
type of
afford him. We just couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
We already had 2 max, and then Russ. You got the 3 max players, so we couldn't afford him. So we let
Yeah.
KCP go.
yeah, like
Or
we talked
Memphis.
about it one time. Leverage.
Or he could go to a Memphis and team up with Ja.
He can go
Memphis.
anywhere.
He's not a. Memphis.
He's not a Memphis,
Memphis
yeah.
a blue collar
It's
hard
not. It's
working.
not.
Yeah, that's
okay.
He
their
not-
culture.
Yeah,
Their culture
He
is
wouldn't
we don't
like-
care who you
man,
are. You got to
Anthony
work.
Davis, he would not last in a culture like
Brooks.
Memphis.
Okay.
And they're a physical culture too.
Yes,
They
yeah.
trying to
He's soft as a mug.
we putting bodies,
Yeah.
and he gonna crumble.
Mark Gasol gonna put you in the bleacher game.
I mean, and then just to going back to why I said we were always attract free agents, because nothing is like being a star in LA. You know what I'm saying? You can be a star anywhere else, but when you're a star in LA,
Means something.
I'm saying you look at even in baseball, you look at Mookie Betts with the Dodgers. He was good in Boston with the Red Sox.
When he got
With the
there.
Dodgers, bro, it's just different about. Look at the LA Rams. They was cool in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It was
They
cool.
became
They won a
tinsel
Super Bowl.
time. Yeah.
It was cool, but doing it in LA, you know what I'm saying? Now you got Aaron Donald, Stanford, front row at the Laker
They
game.
even built y'all a whole new stadium
Yeah.
for the Rams.
You know what I
bro.
mean?
The
It's
biggest
just-
stadium in the league
So
now.
and then it's almost. It's just like Miami, same way. Obviously the culture, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
But being a star, being in Miami,
South
bro, you
Beach.
got the
That
rappers
could
pulling up on
backfire
you.
too, though.
You know what I mean? Oh no, for 100%.
It definitely can.
It can.
Like that's why when
That
you
season
look
after the
at
bubble, I was telling you,
Yeah.
they was
backfire,
back.
like,
They was
you
back.
see what happened to
was
Westbrook.
Back on South Beach,
Yeah.
did
When you
great
see what
things in
happened
the
with
bubble.
Anthony
Everybody
Davis,
head got too
LeBron,
big,
like-
and we started getting
Being a
smacked.
star in LA, man. Most people probably were like, nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
That's why we probably didn't land people. I felt like
the
Westbrook
pressure
was
is.
3-4 years.
Can you
too
imagine
late
though? You got to
coming
follow
LA.
up. You had to follow up Kobe, and then you got to follow up Bron.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
that's some big
you're
shoes
right.
to fill. Like
You're right.
if you don't know you can handle that type of pressure, then you don't. I wouldn't even try to go. Like you got to be like L.A. and New York. You got to be a different type of player to go to those two places.
Well, I know we're talking about the Lakers, but just to talk about New York, I guess you mentioned New York.
Yeah.
Bro, I think it's a horrible. Not only the franchise is bad, but if I was a player, I wouldn't want to play in New York. It's a dirty. The city's dirty. The people are rude.
Fair weather fans
Yeah,
are rude.
the people are rude. You know what I'm saying? It's overcrowded. I think New York's just overrated. And that was kind of the whole KD and Kyrie thing. Why they didn't want to go to New York? No, but I just see
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah.
the
It could just
fans.
be the
I think-
Knicks.
Well, I think it was
I'm
the
talking
time.
about period. Even look at sports.
I think it was the time period because New York was such a hub back then.
Yeah.
But now I think it's shifted. It stayed in L.A., but now you got. That's why Golden State's so popular now because they got the tech.
But that's
the
what
tech
I'm
is
saying,
there. All
yeah.
the money is there. So now Golden State has
Valley.
become a high value
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
When
Oh, it is.
wasn't-
No, definitely.
Yeah, when it wasn't before, it was they were cool, but now they got the championships. They got it's-
Which also coincides with what I said last week about the Bay Area being
No, it is.
an attractive area.
It is. No, it is. That's not. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely an attractive area. But just like the Knicks, I'm I would not want to play in that market.
I wouldn't.
And then the reporters be hella disrespectful.
Yeah,
They be just going crazy.
Take it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's they gotta uphold, how they used to interview people back in the 70s and 80s. And I'm
You missed 5 shots tonight. Do you know how much you actually suck?
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
they were saying? It's
Yeah.
Dang, I went 15 for 25.
yeah, they go. Yeah, I'm
Sweet.
I would not want to play and I would be asked just like Julius Randle. I'm like, yo, trade me. I'm getting out of here. I'll ask for a trade. I'm getting out of here.
I
I don't
wouldn't.
think Julius Randle will get traded because he's from
And
New
it's
York.
not even
He's from Dallas.
bright lights.
Julius Randle's from Dallas?
Yeah, He's from Texas.
I ain't know you was from Texas.
I thought he was from New York because he has like an accent that sounds kind of favorable to New York.
Because he went to he went to school and he went to high school in Texas. I mean, but then again, players they transfer and they do all type of stuff. So yeah, he probably you never know. I don't know. I mean, I thought he was from Texas.
He might be.
Yeah, I'm really afraid though.
In Dallas, Texas.
Oh yeah.
I'm really afraid for the Lakers as far as like our franchise.
Oh yeah, no,
You know
it's
what I'm
scary.
saying? Because who knows if Rob Pelinka is gonna be there? You know, who knows if the
scary.
front
It's
office
getting
like
bad if y'all talking about
it's
bringing
about
Phil
to
Jackson back
implode.
as a.
the Lakers are about
that's
to
just talk.
implode.
That got to be a rumor.
You've been seeing at the games.
You talking about as a coach or as an executive?
Not as a coach, but as somebody who gives y'all advice.
I want advice. You see what he did in the Knicks.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's
Phil
desperate
Jackson.
times.
It's terrible.
I don't think he really wanted to be in
Hired
New
Isaiah
York.
Thomas.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't want to know. But I'm with you though. It is. I mean, but that's the that's kind of like the like the negative side of like getting a star. Like when you're stars. Because I always say this: the Lakers, we're always borderline like old. You know what I'm saying? Or late 20s, early. We never like drafting. Yeah, we're not like drafting because we're not getting high draft picks. So our teams are never going to be young where we're going to be good for so long because of young players, So that's the thing. Like when you go out there and you get these free agent guys and they're there for 3-4 years, that's the kind of like you got to deal with the ups and downs.
I think what the Lakers need to help is a good coach that they look to keep
I
around.
wish we would have got Ty Lue.
That they look to keep around. The problem with the Lakers is
I like Ty Lue.
is y'all just go through too many coaches.
He's a good coach though.
Y'all go through a lot of coaches.
Well, it's because we always have a bad start, and the
Yeah.
first coach that I think about post Phil Jackson is
Mike
who
Brown.
was
Mike
Mike Brown.
I'm saying the worst thing to
You know what
happen.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jim
Mike
Buss.
Brown,
Worst start,
Byron
worst
Scott.
start, Byron Scott.
Dr.
Horrible
Buss
start.
died, bro. That's the worst thing that happened to us, bro. When Dr. Buss died, our organization, and Jeannie
Now
is
Jeannie,
terrible.
she just listening. You can tell
Terrible.
she just listened to everybody.
Yeah, she just
We're
that's the
bad,
worst
bro.
thing that happened to us, bro. She's horrible. And then like when you got an organization like that, you either need a homegrown product like
Steph Curry.
Spoelstra. No, I'm saying like a coach.
Coach,
Somebody
yeah.
that just homegrown. Or you got to go out there and get somebody well respected. Well respected from a player that know the
Mark
game.
Jackson.
Yeah, something like that. You got to get somebody
That's
like
the
that.
But he's still being. I don't know why he's still being blackballed, man.
He said white ball, but anyways, but yeah.
White ball,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's what he said.
Snowball.
Yeah, but that's still
Wow.
But I mean, I guess he came out and said it when he was with Golden State.
Man of faith.
Yeah.
Soon as he said he a man of faith,
and
he
then
a pastor.
Yeah, different views, yeah.
And then I guess one of the owners, kind of like,
Yeah.
Golden State, yeah.
yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah. So
Yeah, what you saying, homegrown? And what helps is that when Pat Riley stepped down, he was like, "No, Spoelstra is our coach."
you gotta.
Like he supported him. He supported him in the bad season and the good season. Because when we had bad seasons, we were like, "Oh, Spoelstra, we need to get a real coach." And Pat Riley like, "No, he is our coach." And that culture. Now you look at him, but he would have never got that successful unless Pat Riley backed him.
now that I think about it, because I hear the Miami culture, and it's not throwing any shot at it, but y'all branched off of
The Knicks.
Laker culture. Pat Riley is a Laker. He has
he was
5
with the
rings.
Knicks too.
He was at the Knicks.
Yeah, but he got 5 rings under our organization.
Oh yeah, but it's the Pat Riley
Now
coach.
it's,
Yeah.
now it's trickled on. He's Showtime.
Yeah.
He's Showtime LA.
Yeah.
So it just
So
that just shows like
The prowess.
the product
Yeah.
is proven.
It's Pat Riley. It's definitely. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Yo, he
Pat
was
Riley don't play no games, man.
just thinking about Pat Riley. He was on that team that played Texas Southern, like
In Kentucky.
Kentucky. He was on that team.
Oh yeah, when they
When it was like the all black starting five,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the first
what
all
was
black
it?
starting five in college basketball. He was on the Kentucky team. I'm like, bro, he just a part of
Boy,
history,
bro.
like
Everywhere.
just through and through. Like, dang, that's the like basketball royalty. You know what I'm saying? Like that just blew my mind when I found that
Paul
out.
Rupp,
yeah,
what
so
was it?
it's-
Rupp?
yeah.
What was the coach? Coach Rupp.
Coach Rump.
Rupp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
was like,
y'all definitely got the luster right now, the Laker name, but y'all culture is like
It's fickle for sure.
it's all over the
It's
place.
fickle.
It's just difficult, man. It really is. And one of my homeboys said this about before we got LeBron. He said if the Lakers get LeBron, the ending of it is going to be worse than when we had Dwight Howard. When we had Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, that era of Laker
was
basketball,
ugly,
we were
bro.
terrible for like 12 years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about terrible.
Yeah. I mean, but it was one of those things where sometimes you can be, and it's almost one of those things where it's like, you know, to be good, you got to get bad first. You know, so but the Lakers, we're never just been like, oh, we always been middle of the pack.
Yeah.
You know, like for those 12 years. So when you middle of the pack, like Kobe not gonna let you get like, you know, first, second, pick or whatever like that. So we was always getting in the 20s or something like that. So you're never gonna get quality.
I think we looked at it. Kobe only missed the playoffs one time after Shaq.
Yeah.
And then he was
I think-
back in.
I think 1 year we picked high when that's when we drafted Jordan Hill.
I remember that pick.
From
Yep.
Yeah, the
Arizona.
big.
Yep.
And then
Arizona.
after that, it was B.I.
that was a bust.
We had
Wait,
B.I.
and that's many
we
years
had
later.
Randall.
He had
We
the
started
trade.
getting picks. We just weren't.
Yeah.
First of all,
We were getting
Cousins-
picks, bro. I don't want nobody to slight that. We were getting picks.
No,
bro.
but
Julius Randle,
yeah.
B.I., Lonzo. They was all top 5 picks.
Recently,
I
that
don't
was
know about-
So
recently.
that's recently. Yeah, that's recently.
You're right.
I'm saying, but for that long
stretch.
stretch.
But that came from the bad stretch, though.
That's
All
what
them
I'm saying.
picks.
Yeah.
This one gonna take 30 years.
man.
Our last elite big, besides Pau Gasol, I gotta say is Andrew Bynum.
Andrew Bynum was.
I mean,
ice cold.
they were good. They were really good.
Andrew Bynum was
And,
ice cold, bro.
and then even
Nice.
you know, to talk about Kobe or whatever like that, I get like Gasol and Bynum are good, but people like overstate how great they were. Like when we having like I guess like the GOAT debate, you know what I'm saying? When they who'd you play with? Like bro, like Bynum didn't make any he was never like all NBA.
He was a great.
I mean, see, he was
piece.
good. But I'll be telling people like, bro, y'all gotta dumb down the Andrew
That
Bynum and
goes
Paul
that
Gasol
goes
talk.
that goes to Kobe in the situation, like I said a few weeks ago about comparing his situation with LeBron. He's making players better.
Who's that?
Kobe.
Yeah. I always kind of fight back with the whole like LeBron makes players better. That's just because I feel like if you make like I'm saying like if you truly make a player better, when he leave he'll still be good.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I mean like what are you? I mean I get it. Like when you play alongside a great player, you're just going to get easier shots. Like that just comes with the territory. But so I get it. Does he really make them better? I mean I guess. I mean because
He gets the most out of those role
No,
players.
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I agree. I'm saying like they're going to get easier shots. But if you look at like the greats that play with him, like they all got worse. Like Chris Bosh was a mockery. Like people used to kill Chris Bosh. People would kill Kevin Love. Like so I'm like, did he make these players better?
I think he was so. I think the way his game worked, it just when you're another star trying to play with LeBron,
You gotta buy in. You gotta buy in.
it's like he siphons your power because he's so good.
doing a
If
lot.
that makes sense.
He's doing a lot.
So he forces you out of because he's so good and can do much. He forces you out of your normal role. You can't play your normal role because he's so good. He dictates like everything.
Especially as a big because
Yeah.
because his game is predominantly in the paint.
Yeah, I just watched Kevin Love when he was talking to JJ Redick. He was talking about that. He asked him like, "How did your game change?" He was like, "I left from Minnesota getting 25 touches a night."
Yeah.
He said where the game was run through me. So he said I'm in the post, you pass it in
2010 guy.
first, and I pass it out. He said when I had to go play with Bron and Kyrie, he said they're so ball dominant.
Right.
He said they had to move me. He said I had no choice but to. He said I went from this dominant inside presence to now you just want me to be a spot up 3-point shooter.
Dog, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was one of the great, but because
He
the
had
way
30
they,
and 31 game.
yeah, so
Video
because
game, he put up 2K numbers.
Kevin
Love,
he was tough,
Yeah.
but
30
but
and
LeBron,
25.
but for
30 and 25.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
It was
Yeah.
30 and 30.
He was going
30
insane.
points, 30 rebounds.
Dang, he didn't do that just once. He was doing that.
No,
yeah, he was consistently. But that's what he said. He was like Bron. He's like Bron was so good. He said then you add in Kyrie. He was like. How can you not want to open the floor up for these two great players? He's like, you have to open the floor. So he said, that moved me. So he's like, so that's what happens when people play with Bron. It's like, oh, you do this. Well, I do it better.
Yeah.
And so it's like, the only player I think that recently played with Bron and he couldn't do that was Rondo. Like, he couldn't move Rondo because Rondo's impact as a point guard. No, I'm talking about like Rondo being able to be himself still. Like not having to dramatically shift his game because Rondo's a true point guard. So for him, it's easier. It's easier to change. Yeah, it's easier for him to be like he can tell LeBron because he's smart at the game too. Like LeBron, I got it. You go over here. Like
I seen
so you know what I'm saying.
what you was saying.
Hey, man, I got a ring before you. I can show you how to get a ring. Real quick.
Yeah.
Pipe down.
You talking about how like
You don't do that. By the time they got together, Bron already had 4.
Pipe down, and I'm gonna help you get a ring, which he did.
You said what?
you saying how like
Rondo.
You can't. Don't say that like Rondo sent him. By the time Rondo and
I'm not
Bron got
saying
together,
son him.
Bron had 4 rings and came down 3-1 for his
It's just
finals.
real.
Let's not do
I'm
that.
not saying that. I'm just saying
That's how you kind of
Let's
just
not
said
do
it
this.
though.
It's real.
That's how you just kind of said it though.
that is.
Is there a bird? In
Yep, that was Bird, my brother.
Wow, man.
You here?
We got a bird in here.
Better put
Yep,
some
it's
baking
over there.
soda.
Over there somewhere.
What were you saying to him?
Oh no, I was saying how you was saying how earlier how Caleb, was saying that how he set up that play. You seen like they got like on YouTube like Rondo did it like numerous of times. He'd be like, you go here, and then it's like a bucket like every time.
Oh yeah, Caleb gets
Craziest-
airtime.
It's like the craziest thing with Rondo, like he sees stuff.
You got to see the game. You got to see the game before 5 plays
That is
ahead.
amazing to me, like the way he see the game like that.
I personally feel like LeBron's best teammate was Kyrie.
Like his like just
His
just
best
skill-wise.
counterpart.
Oh,
I know. Look here. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that, because him and D Wade spent longer time together. But LeBron took over when he went to Miami. D Wade was deferring to LeBron. When it came down to it, LeBron was giving Kyrie the ball and letting him work
yeah,
and
they was
stay
taking
in
turns.
his
They was
game. He
saying they
didn't
was
have to
taking
change his. He didn't have to move no pieces around for Kyrie or
Wade
anything
still
like
hit a
that.
lot of game winning, but I hear you saying. Go ahead. Well, go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead.
I get
Go
the
ahead.
point. Yeah.
The-
But you saying, like, they was taking turns.
Wade was
It
waving
30 and
LeBron
30,
off. Let's
40
not
and
do
40.
that.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of times, like Bron was just giving the ball to Kyrie.
Yeah, but he was, though.
and going
He
to
was
Wade.
just-
D
I
told you-
Wade
I told
get
you,
it, ain't
LeBron-
nothing going around.
Kyrie was LeBron's skate plan. I mean, escape plan. Kyrie messed up the whole LeBron James plan. LeBron James' plan was to go back to Cleveland and win championships, not just one championships. When Kyrie left, it put it. He had to.
I mean,
pivot.
yeah, but it's not just. I mean, you can say that, but we just saying that through history. We
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about before. But, I mean, you said with Kobe and Shaq.
No, I'm just talking about with him and Kyrie. Like, no, I'm agreeing with Kayla's point. Like, they were shifting. Like, Kyrie was his escape
They
plan.
would have won like about. Yeah.
They would have got like, I think they would have got at least 1 or 2 more.
Here's
Wait,
another
you
thing.
saying like so like he was a better? You talking about like chemistry or just like individual? Just
like when
chemistry is
whenever
yeah.
LeBron, when
Wade.
LeBron has finally like got to a place where we all understood Bron was wearing his crown, quote unquote, as the best player in the league.
Right.
He wanted to give the reins. Here again, he wanted to give the reins to Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? So when he tried to give the reins to Kyrie,
Trying
I'm
to
like,
take a
hold
back
on,
seat.
bro. Like, I want a ring. I'm a top tier guy. I'm out
He
of
was
here.
trying to take a back seat.
Yeah.
So
He been
every
doing that
time
since
when
he
that
went back to
happens,
Cleveland.
that hurts Bron. So like all this whole the narrative when it came to LeBron, I don't know how we got onto it, but it's a segue to Bron. Like all of the greatest players never tried to dish out their crown too early. You get what I'm saying? Dirk Nowitzki was the best player on Dallas. He was not giving that up to anyone. Okay? He was the guy. I'm scoring. I'm being the guy. Kobe, I'm not giving this to nobody. I'm out here without Shaq. I'm taking the shots. The finals that we won, I think Kobe's last ring that he won, I think he took like 26 shots and only made like what, 9?
Yeah. Oh, down there was
Terrible shooting performance.
But those series were brutal. Though.
That's what I'm saying. But Kobe
series-
never tried to
those series were
change
brutal.
up, try to start running a pick and roll with Powell. No, we're still playing our game. LeBron, every time it got to a point like, all right, let me go ahead and give the reins to someone else.
But do
If
you
you're the
think-
best player, the GOAT guy, there is no giving it to no one else.
But do you think he's like that? I think what we're really talking about is just he's not them as a person either. So I think that's kind of like he's not. I mean, all great players are selfish. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I'm saying for you to be that great, you have to be a little bit selfish. You know what I'm saying? But to him, I think he's definitely more team oriented than they are. So I think.
It's so tough for you when you say that because no other GOAT came out and said, I'm the greatest player in the world.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? So if you taking on that moniker, and I'm not bashing Bron, but I'm just telling to the success and how we saying how Bron made guys better or whatever. He was always trying to give guys that position of who he was too early.
Yeah.
Why was you even trying to give Kyrie the rings if your plan was to come back to Cleveland and win rings? Okay,
I think
that
he was-
means
I
you
think he had a
value
vision,
Kyrie
though.
a
I
lot.
think he had a vision. LeBron was looking. I think he's looking at longevity because then you got to factor in how does LeBron affect the game. He affects it in so many ways. It's like every night he don't want to have to come out and be the leading rebounder, leading assist person, leading scorer.
Not hearing that.
So
But
all
you're not worried about that if you're the best player on your
no,
team.
I'm saying I'm talking about that work. You got to think about it. LeBron since 2008 he's been in the playoffs every year until June. Like,
Okay, so you think he personally felt like he was on a decline?
no, I don't think he was on the thing. I think he's playing the game smarter. Why do I have to?
But he's been playing the same way his entire career.
That's what I'm saying.
Like we've been saying.
And that's what I'm saying. LeBron is playing the game smarter. If
He's always
I'm not
played the
gonna,
game smart.
I'm not gonna carry 100% of the load every single night.
You haven't done that
You're gonna
your
break
entire
down.
career. You said he's been playing the same way, making the best position.
So he was in Cleveland. Was he carrying the load 100% when he first came in?
According to the statements made earlier, he's been playing the same way.
Yes. Listen to what I'm saying. When he was in Cleveland,
If he's
when he was in
playing
Cleveland, was he carrying the load the whole time? His first 7 years. When he went to Miami, the first year he had help. The second year,
We had help all the years.
The second year, no, third year when we lost to the Spurs the second time. D Wade started getting hurt. Bosh started getting hurt. So they started getting hurt. LeBron, still a good team, but we weren't as good because everybody was getting injured. So he's carrying way more of the load. Again, he goes to Cleveland. The load is not as much. Kyrie and Kevin Love is there. He's not carrying as much of the load, but he's still the best player. Clear. Nobody's gonna say Kyrie was better than LeBron at any point on those Cleveland teams. So what do we? So you saying hand in the rain? No, it's not hand in the rain. It's like, hey, you're the future. I'm smart enough to see.
I think that's what it was.
I'm smart enough to see that you're the future. I know I still got a good while left, but why not mold you to be as best as you can be? So that way, as I'm getting into my older years, I don't have to keep going out scoring 50 a night like he's doing with the Lakers just to get a win.
Kyrie don't hear none of
because
that.
every time he
Kyrie
tried
wasn't
to
here. You're
pass
not
the
sunning
ranks,
me.
And that was why Kyrie left. It was because I want it now.
I'm
Y'all
already
saying
elite.
you wanted it now.
Tell me.
I think that's
You're
what
not about to
LeBron
sun me, bro.
Yeah, I'm already.
And that was the thing. I want it now. Kyrie left because he's like, you got a plan. I want this now.
Yeah,
And so
and I
he
think
left.
that's
It wasn't
why-
him trying to give it too early. It was the vision, like Tim was
I
saying.
think to your point, I think that's why he was trying to hand him the rings. So he was like, okay, well, like if I tell you that, like this is now your house, maybe you'll stay. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But Kyrie was like, well, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you're still here.
Yeah, but you're still here.
You ain't
You know
moved
what I'm
out
saying?
yet.
So I'm gone. So I think that's kind of why.
I'm not about to sit here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think that's why he decided.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a
He
smart
can't.
play.
You can't blame Kyrie for that though.
No, not at all. No. I'm blaming him
That's
all
to Kyrie's
because
credit to me.
because it was getting bad. That toxic.
It was gonna
energy
get worse.
Yeah.
It was getting.
That's all that, and that's my thing with never mind, with Jaylen Brown and them. I don't think they said they cool, but I don't know how long they can last. I feel like
all the time.
I feel like they holding each other
They better
back.
learn from
Yeah.
Dame and
Yeah, break it up.
CJ.
They not cool.
It is terrible.
They better learn from Dame and
Marcus Smart, the
CJ.
best player on that team.
like Marcus
Anyways,
I like Marcus Smart too.
I like Smart.
best player on that team.
But like you saying, it's that energy when you feel like you're the man. Like two cannot coexist. It's impossible. It's impossible because you're gonna clash way too much.
Unless you step up.
So, but that's the way he played the game.
That's what I'm
though,
saying.
too.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah, he's unless you play the way. So that's why when we say people taking steps back and stuff, it's like if you have that, you're not gonna win. Somebody has to take steps. Ain't nobody gonna come on Kobe's team and fight Kobe for that. Like it's gonna break apart.
Unless you
Same
Jeremy
reason-
Lin. Unless you
Yeah.
Jeremy Lin.
Yeah. So it's like
Video.
When he waved him, and then he was just
I
playing
can
like
only
Kobe was
imagine
like-
what Kobe was saying to him while he pulled
That's-
because after he had pulled him in.
Yeah.
He never take that shot.
Nah.
but
It looked real political. Kobe was like,
Yo.
You don't,
wave me off.
you don't like-
You're gonna be sitting in that stands over there. Matter of fact, you might be in the no.
He was telling that
I'm
man.
Here, you don't pass. Like
He was telling that man crazy.
he had to talk to him crazy.
But
He
at
wasn't
the
gonna wake
just the
Kobe
last
up.
point, you don't like him, but Dwight Howard was the same thing. Dwight at his time when he went to LA, he was still
wasn't ready.
Dwight, so him and Kobe going at it is like
He just
after a
wasn't
while.
ready. He was immature. That's all.
Yeah, he was immature too, but you gotta think about it, he
Can't
was
say
a
immature. He was in the finals. Like the White.
He talking
Howard
about
was
mentality.
still-
No, I'm talking mentality. No. He was a great player. That's why I said I still think he should have been in the top 75.
yeah, he was an alpha though too though. And when he got there, it wasn't no.
But I'm just saying, like, just as far as like, like going to that next level where Kobe at, like it's a different mentality.
And it's tough, man, because all the greats come through LA.
Yeah.
All the greats come through LA.
Yeah.
So if you came through LA
Yeah.
and you didn't succeed,
Yeah.
then you're not a guy that can play at a
definitely
high level.
It's definitely an indictment on you for sure. Yeah.
I don't care what no one says. The Lakers organization we know is top tier.
Yeah.
So if you're a top guy in the NBA that's still playing now, and when you had a chance to play in LA and you didn't deliver on anything as being like Dwight Howard was the top guy,
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
these were top guys. Westbrook is getting the way he's getting right now because he's coming to LA and he's not delivering.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. No other organization that would happen to you besides the Knicks.
Hopefully we turn it around, man.
We have
But,
to. We have no choice. If we don't, it's gonna be bad for 20 years.
Well, this was a good episode, guys. Episode 18, I believe.
We can Bradley Beal next year. It'll be all good.
Yeah. So this was episode 18.
No, I know. Yeah, but
We gonna wrap it up though.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, good show, y'all, man.
Show. It was great
Appreciate y'all
talking
coming
today.
out.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, man. Check us out again on YouTube. This is episode 18 of the Fast Break Podcast. Signing off. Peace.
All right, peace.